Hi everyone, it's me, Krylios, Team Rayceen Production MC and producer. And joining me, as per usual, is the legendary Rayceen Pendarvis.
Greetings and salutations, all. I am so excited to be here and so excited to be live. We are so excited to just be in the presence of music and legendary, iconic royalty.
Yes.
Oh my God, we are
Of
so happy.
Yes, we have the wonderful, the amazing, the legendary, the iconic Melba Moore with us here. Hello,
Hi,
Melba.
how are you guys?
Fine,
You-
thank
How's
you. We
everybody?
are so honored to have. First of all, let me just give you the intro you deserve.
Okay.
The legendary, iconic, fabulous, amazing, Grammy nominated, AME nominated, Tony Award winning actress, Ellis Island Award winner, Artist Guild Award, Trumpet Award of Excellence, NAACP Spin God Award, History Makers Tribute Award. Now to add to you the list, your 2020 Radio Records Lifetime Achievement Award, ladies and
Mm.
gentlemen, Melba Moore.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm impressed. Oh, thank you.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
We
God.
are so honored. I mean,
Melba, it is so
oh,
great to have you here. So great to have you here. And I will say this from before in our little pre-interview section and even now live, you have such a wonderful like sense of humor. Just drop them here and there. It's so wonderful. It's just so joyous. I mean, it's just meeting you right now for the first time. It's been such a pleasure already. Thank you so much for being
Mine
here.
too. My pleasure.
no, it's an
Thank
honor.
you.
The last time I saw you was at Blues Alley, and I'd given you a beautiful gift, and I sat and just enjoyed being in your presence. And you were so great. Every time I see you, you're very gracious. And
Thank
it's
you.
like, it's not like for you, for this legendary, amazing woman who has been in the business over 40 years, you have the presence of one of this regal queen who never feels as if you are above anyone. You makes you feel like, welcome to my palace. Sit.
Oh, excuse me, my palace. Oh.
And you just make us feel so warm and welcoming
Oh.
every time I see
Well, that's earnest. I don't know if it's a palace,
you.
but I really do. I love people. I love you.
And and it shows in everything you do. So how have you been doing? I mean, you've been creating because we're listening to your new fabulous latest single, Just Doing Me. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited about that. Not just because it's the new single, but it's being so well received. And so I have to say, when I first heard it and the remix and everything, I said, "Well, who's that singing? That really sounds good. Who's that?" But because to me, it sounds so fresh. It has its own energy.
Mhm.
And so I have to say thank you to George Pettis. When you listen to it, you hear this wonderful piano solo. Yeah, but he's a one-man band, okay?
Oh.
I mean, like in the old days when you didn't have to press a button, and you had to
Right.
play
Mhm.
each instrument. That's how George Pettis is.
Wow.
And he's an incredible human being. So you get this from the energy that he's playing. Tickle me to talk about it when he's playing the piano. But then I listened to the lyrics and I said, nobody else can do me better than I can. I'm still here and I'm still doing. I said, wait a minute, that's not kind of arrogant or something. I wouldn't say that, would I? Then I thought about his wife, Angela Pettis. She wrote those lyrics. But they suit me very well, though, don't they?
Yes, they I think they do. I think and you sing it very well. I mean,
Yes.
it's just when I was, because I've listened to it several times. And, it's one of my Music Monday tweet out. And I just love it. I mean, it's just, oh, I think about all your music. I think about, I talk about, whenever I talk about you, I always talk about, I have several songs that are my favorite. But I think about This Is It. And I think about playing that 45 till it turned white.
Not
Go back
white.
with me, young lady. All righty then. Yes. Well, let me give accolades to Van McCoy,
Mm.
because he almost single-handedly ushered in what we currently call the dance era, or what's called disco. The first dance genre of our age was disco. Before that, when my mother was doing it, it was bebop, okay? So it continues, which I think is very important, because you have to give God the glory for having something that's going to, I can prophesy it's going to continue. But Van McCoy wrote that for me. He had written the Disco Hustle, and it was a big hit all over Europe. And when everybody started to do it, even Barbara Streisand sang disco after Van McCoy brought it in. But I have to say thank you to the Lord, first of all, for Miss Aretha Franklin, because now you know that's a gift, okay?
Okay.
But I first heard the song that has become a signature piece of mine when I heard her sing Van McCoy's Lean on Me. He wrote that. And the reason I wound up getting so much stamina to hold that long note at the end, because I couldn't sing it like Aretha.
We were just, listen, we were just talking about that. Were we not, Rayceen?
Okay, well, now what I'm gonna do, huh?
And you do it so well. I mean, you still hold those notes like it's, girl, I mean, it's like, how do you preserve that gift?
I didn't, he did. And I think, I'm going to be honest with you, I think it's a part of the Holy Spirit, because the Spirit is the breath.
It truly is. And you feel it. I mean, whenever I'm in your presence of watching you live, it's like a revival. It's like, welcome to the revival. And I mean, you take us through pop, jazz, soul, country, you know, everything. You give us you take us on a musical journey. When you finish and your show is over, it's like, honey, you have now been schooled.
Well, you look at the student. I'm always, and one of the reasons I'm so diverse is because I think when I started, I got these opportunities in theater. So someone give you the script and you do what they tell you to do. And it seems like I was cast right. I didn't study acting, so I was at the right place at the right time. And I was starting to develop my style. And like, for instance, my first Broadway show was Hair. And I guess I learned a little bit more about using my range and doing the character, because I wound up with the female lead. And the person I replaced was Diane Keaton, who's not really replaceable, especially by a Black lady. You know how God is, okay?
Oh, he always working.
I was trying to learn how to audition. And one of the girls told me, you know, why don't you go for this play that's called Pearly? You're still casting for it. And so I was trying to learn how to audition. Anyway, to make a long story a little shorter, I got the part. Well, the part was from a country, backwoods, illiterate, orphan young lady. Not quite a queen yet, okay? But the interesting thing is that I never sang to get the role. The director and producer, Phil Rhodes, was more interested in what the character was like. And the music was wonderful and the people loved it. But I was starting to develop my style. And you know how Black people are, you know, we keep searching and trying to, we don't ever do it the same way twice, you know. Searching. And the title song was Pearly, and I sang that, and I was singing about, I love to sit and hear he dream, tells it like a story. I'm talking about my love, Pearly, right? And so I reached and found one of these notes, and it stops the show every night. So the people started to come to the producer and say, well, who's that young lady? You need to give her a second song. I only have one song.
Wow.
So they actually didn't really hear me sing until I got in front of the audience. Because I guess you really, even in rehearsal, you don't do like you do in front of an audience, especially if you're not trained like I wasn't. You know, I probably didn't know it, and I was already born again. So you don't know what God is going to do.
He will show up and show out.
Tell me, what has been for you your most fulfilling achievement, the one that, you know, really, you know, you think about, the one that, what's your most fulfilling achievement, you would say?
I think as I look back now, I've had longevity. I see that music should be the centerpiece of my life and my calling, because everything else seems to come out of that. And I would say the thing that's had the most impact on my career in life has been the Tony Award and Pearlie, because that then led to me doing television, a few different husbands.
Gotta have a few, honey.
I keep trying.
Oh, amen.
Okay. Tony Award, and then my last husband. Oh, we're divorced, but we're on amicable terms. His name is Charles Huggins. He's extremely important because, first of all, he's the father of my daughter. And so we are still a family. But he's the reason I had this incredible file of songs, and many of them hit songs, because he went out and got the record companies. He got me signed with Buddha Records, Mercury Records, Capitol Records, Epic Records, all of the record companies that I was with. And I still can't really make a deal. You know, you got to have that part of it. But he's gifted at that. So he went out and found the record companies. He got Van McCoy for me. But I had been singing Lean on Me somewhere, because I already knew the song and everything. I was probably singing it with Aretha to her record. But so when he got me Van McCoy, I asked him please to record this, and I had been singing, and I had already my arrangement on it, so I could sing it. So, but I had this huge, I have about like 30 records, because Charles Huggins said, okay, I don't know nothing about Broadway. I'm from the country too. So, and you Black, you got to be R&B. I know you Broadway, but you got to learn R&B. So I guess my point is that the reason I have so many different styles is because I had to learn them all. I wasn't really, well, I was born with a beautiful classical lyric soprano voice, but I wanted to sing R&B.
But I think about when, you know, you talk about your career, and I think about some of your iconic album covers. How did some of those, like the one You Stepped in My Life, where you have on the overalls and the paint, and then the one, The Portrait of Melba, and then the one of where you do Stormy Weather, and it's the painting. Oh my God, I think about.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got to give my ex-husband, Charles Huggins, credit for that. His ideas are unbelievable. And he went and he got these artists to paint this real portrait. And if I can think of the person who is, she's very, very, very creative, head of our A&R department. She says, yeah, I can see your spirit there. And she titled the album. I can't, the last one. Can you think of the name of the last?
I remember you did Young, Gifted, and Black on that album, but oh God, okay. I can't think of the name of it. But that's all right. It's in our mind and in our spirit. It's there. We know it's there. But I mean that.
But I still have the portrait, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes,
it's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
Like, you know, I guess what I'm saying is God has brought me teams of people who are so creative, each one gifted in a different area. And since by the time I had met Charles, I had been all these different areas. Instead of, we tried to get a normal artist manager, but at that time, because we're talking about the early 70s or mid 70s, and the only good managers of Black people were people of, you know, like Gladys Knight, and people who were like great R&B singers, not Broadway people. So they said, well, she can't do records because she's from Broadway. So Charles said, well, let's see what we can do ourselves. So instead of getting a stable of artists with one manager, we got a stable of managers with one artist. That's how it started. Wow. That's Charles Huggins for you.
Yeah, and I think about all the stuff that you and your husband did, all these people that you brought into the fold, Freddie, Melissa, Morgan, and so many other people when I think of you, and I think about all the stuff that you and Freddie did, the magic you made. Oh, and I mean, you know, when you sit down and listen to the stuff that you and Freddie did, it is so unforgettable. It's like magic. It was like the two of your voices. It's like y'all were made. It was a music marriage, you know, and it masterpieces.
Well, I think that first of all, I'll give my husband Charles, my ex-husband Charles, credit for having the heart and ear and the talent to find these people and bring them to me. And I think I was the other half. That's why it really worked. I said, "Oh yeah, that's great. I could see it once you showed it to me, and I could help put the other pieces to it." But isn't that what Eve did? And that's what a woman does, I think.
It does. I mean, it's so important to have that extra ear in anything, a partnership.
Yes,
you have that, you know, and that's just your gift. Like you said, it all comes from God, and that's just a blessing.
And the parts fit together and I think when they fit together like that, it has its own life as well. So what you see with me and Freddie is a real love and friendship as well.
You do. You feel it. I mean, you feel it. It's like you can play. Like I was listening to one of the songs. You can play it now, and it's just timeless.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Because love isn't it?
Of course.
And then,
I mean, all kinds of love. Not
it is.
romantic love.
Yes,
and I think about the work that you did with Phil Perry. That album.
Yeah. Well, Phil is ridiculous. I said, "Wait a minute, Phil. You can't sing higher than me." He said, "Yes, I can."
It's so great. It is so amazing. Melba, tell me how this period has been for you, by the way, this, because it's been a kind of a rough year. Tell me about how you've been handling this pandemic right now.
It feels like a good harvest for me because it seems like the good life for me has been rough. It's like, what did I do?
No,
you're fine.
I said,
you're fine.
You just got your image up.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems to me that when my husband and I broke up, first of all, the family broke up. I didn't know how to do business. I wound up being on welfare. I filed for welfare through friends that showed me how to do it. But I don't know if you know New York, but I lived at 200 Central Park South.
I know
got the money.
exactly where that is.
Okay, the big round building. I got the money to pay the rent. They didn't want welfare recipients there, so they evicted me anyway.
Wow.
The devil is a lie.
Yeah, and I like that song that says, "Don't let the devil fool you. Here comes the dove." What I think that means, when the dove comes, it's over. At least for the devil, it is.
Okay.
So I went out on the road with Michael Matthews. Now, you know who Tyler Perry is, but you probably don't know who Michael Matthews is. He's the one who created the gospel musical play genre. And then Tyler Perry came out and took it on to everything else. But the time that I went with Michael to do my first road tour of any kind of a theater play, because I never went on the road with any of the plays of Hurley. I was homeless. I was evicted. But this gentleman hired me to star in one of his plays was called Mama, I'm Sorry. And he starred me in that. And he paid me, tickles me because I know this is the Holy Spirit, right? He paid me $7,000 in cash every week. Every Saturday. Y'all know that's the Sabbath, right?
Right.
That is Sabbath.
I bet you know now.
See how God is always working.
I mean, it's amazing the things that have happened. And my friends well, first of all, I didn't know that I was saved, but the whole company, it's a gospel play, but they really were saved. At the first rehearsal, my friend Deidre, she says, "Good morning, saints. Praise the Lord, everybody." I said, "Oh God, did I die?" I'm used to hearing people cuss all the time. That's all I hear. Till I got evicted.
Is there something, and how God places you in this situation? God has always had his hand on you all throughout your whole entire
I guess that's my point.
I mean, he's just covered you and everything. And you think about some of the films that you've done. I was thinking about how you bring such a comedic timing to so many of your characters, because your character in Fighting Temptation, I look at the character and I just laugh because I be like, is that Melba Moore? I remember the first time I saw it, and then when I look at it, it's like, it's so funny.
I know that movie was hilarious, and I loved it because it really does honor to the family and the church. Sometimes I don't like some of them because I think I'm sensitive when they make fun of it in the wrong way. But I don't think Finding Temptations did that.
It was beautiful.
How about the opening scene with Pastor Shirley and Ann Nesby?
Woo, child. Woo, gee. Ooh, child. That's, don't look. Don't stop me. Woo, they
I mean, you know, and then on and on and on through the film, the comedy and everything.
It's it's just a beautiful. The soundtrack is one of those ones that you play and you just like, oh my goodness.
That played in my house all while growing up, honey.
Yes.
I mean, it's just amazing. And it's so honored that I'm just, first of all, let me say this to you. I'm so blessed and so honored that one, you took the time to sit with us today. You know, I'm so blessed because you could have been anywhere, but you chose to be with us. And I was telling Krylios and I tell every artist this, when I crafted this series of sitting down with divas that I really have loved, and their music has touched my spirit and my soul in ways that I cannot ever, ever thank you enough. That your music, one, has been a soundtrack for our lives, and it's touched people in a way that if you don't know how God is using you, when your music has gotten people out of darkness, and especially for, if I don't say the LGBTQIA community, for folks who have been oppressed, the divas like you have brought them through. They have used your songs, they've even performed your songs, and they have said that these people have been our heroes and our sheroes, and their songs have been a place of light in a world that sometimes was not very accommodating for people. So I just thank you for letting God, one, use you, two, for being that vessel, and to three, to understand your gift and still use it all the time. I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Well, I thank you for being there. You all are the other part of my show, you know, because I can't just sing in the shower. Come on, man.
And there we go again. Love it. Melba, thanks so much for joining us. It has been our absolute pleasure. Thank you so.
And I can't wait to see you and give you your flowers in concert when I see you again.
Oh, thank you. Me too.
And just say, girl, thank you for the memories. Thank you for the joy. And thank you for the good time.
And thank you for my life.
Oh, God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bless you. Enjoy the day.
I think we're done at the end. Rayceen, give us the sign off.
And viewers, thank you for watching.
Bye, everyone.